morning, Tottenham fans. It's the morning after the night before when we found out that Daniel Levy was leaving the club. 25 years he's been at Spurs. It's going to be a massive change. But in today's video, I'm going to talk about what Daniel Levy did bring to Spurs, what he's left us, what he didn't do. Why were people so angry with him? Why did they want him out so badly? And where does this leave us? And why am I so excited for the future? I really do think it's going to be a really bright future for us. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. So close to 3,000 subscribers now. Thank you to everyone that has liked, commented, and just followed this channel. It's really appreciated. Like this video if you are happy with Daniel Levy leaving the club, and are you excited? So let's get into the video. What was your first thought when you found out that Daniel Levy was stepping down? Do it in one word. What was your one word that you thought when Daniel Levy stepped down? Was it wow? Was it oh my God, OMG, if that can be one word? My one word was optimistic. That's the first thought I had in my brain, was optimism. I'm really optimistic now of things changing for the better for Spurs. We've tried the same thing over and over again for 25 years. It's worked twice where we've won 2 trophies. But is that enough for a big club like Spurs? What was my thoughts on his tenure? Well, my thoughts were, I remember when he first came in, but I remember before that. Now, I'm showing my age here. Through the 90s, I remember watching the Champions League or watching the European football or watching, nights out in Europe, and me just dreaming that Spurs could actually be in that position to actually be playing in Europe, because it was just unthinkable back then. And I remember even thinking, I hope we can get into Europe through the Fair Play League, because that was the only viable option for us at the time. And, unfortunately in today's world, that people only remember the negatives that Levy brought, but before he came, there was negatives too. Levy, we'll start with things that Levy should be praised for before I go on to why people wanted him out. And for example, he's now got us to a standard of £550 million revenue per season. He's got us a new £1 billion stadium, probably one of the best stadiums in the world, one of the best training facilities in world football. He's took us from a mid-table, fighting relegation, banned from cup competitions, from being in serious debt, to be honest, to a regular mainstay in European football. Basically now we're part of this so-called Big Six because of Daniel Levy, financially and on the football pitch. He's also created a large revenue streams for concerts, Formula One, basically non-football events, sky walks, dare walks, Tottenham shop, earning lots of money too. This puts us in a powerful position for PSR. So off the pitch, he has put us in a very, very strong position. We're able to compete on the pitch, which means someone with ambition to win could really elevate this club, in my opinion. Now, what are the reasons why people are so frustrated with this guy? If he can do all this for your club, really put us up there as one of the biggest clubs around, then what's the problem? Why are people so frustrated with this guy? So I've bullet pointed a few issues, and there might be more issues. Some of these are my personal issues, but it's his ambition off the pitch has never matched his ambition on it. So he's so ambitious when it comes to non-football events, when it comes to hotels, when it comes to concerts. He's so ambitious. But when it comes to putting money in for the club, for the team, it just doesn't match it whatsoever. There was a time when he failed to sign a single player in 3 transfer windows under Poch, when we were so close to greatness. Our first 11 was absolutely phenomenal. For me, It was the best ever Premier League side not to win a trophy. If you can name a better Premier League side to not win a trophy, I'd like to hear it. And another one was sacking Jose Mourinho 5 days before a cup final. That really irritated fans because he was a win now manager. He was the guy that no matter who the opposition was, he found a way to win. And we were starved of a trophy for 16 years at the time. And for him to sack a manager that's capable of winning one really irritated the fans again. That was just showing no ambition to win trophies, in my opinion. Losing out on top players because he would try to save every single penny. Eden Hazard, Bruno Fernandes, Willian, and most recently Morgan Gibbs-White and Eze. Really frustrates the fans on how long negotiations take, which for me again shows lack of ambition to try and improve your squad. He always, in interviews, always seems more proud of building that stadium than he did winning the Europa League or winning the League Cup or getting to a Champions League final. He was more happy with what he's done off the pitch. He's never built on teams when we've had players like Gareth Bale, Luka Modric, Van der Vaart, Berbatov, Keane, Defoe, Kane and Sonny. The list goes on. He's never built around them. He's just content with keeping top players like that and then not building around them. Raising ticket prices without raising the ambition. The ambition on the pitch never matched the ambition of the ticket prices, in my opinion. Becoming so hard to deal with in negotiations that other chairmen didn't want to do business with him, which again resulted in us missing out on certain players. Only winning 2 trophies in 25 years, is that enough for a club the size of Spurs? There is probably many more reasons out there, but these are the ones that I would thought of off the top of my head, and there's still quite a few, to be honest. But in reality, he's left us in a very strong position, and it will always be appreciated for how far he's taken us, but he's left us in a good position for someone to take over and just take us to that next step. Will ENIC follow him in his footsteps? I'm not 100% sure. They have come out and said that they are going to carry on and they are going to keep moving forward with this club. The Lewis family are massive Tottenham fans, so maybe they are ambitious. Maybe they needed to get Levy out the way so they can start moving forward with this club on the pitch more than off the pitch. But don't rule out a massive bid coming in and absolutely changing that, because if a £5 billion bid came in, they may turn their heads. So what changes do I expect to see from Levy not being involved anymore? Well, here's the exciting bit. I think the future can be very, very bright. Assuming the Lewis family staying in charge of this and then show massive ambition that Levy wasn't showing, then I can really see a shift in the transfer windows and more top players coming in. We may see a higher wage bill than we saw before. We may even see the fan base unite for the first time, as this fan base is always divided on many, many issues. We could argue that we've already started seeing these changes this summer, with Donna Cullen leaving, Scott Munn, Vinay coming in, and now Daniel Levy leaving. We have also signed 4 top players in Mwani, Kudos, Paulinho, and the best one of all, Xavi Simons. And he's going to add to, these 4 are adding to players like Bentancur, Spence, Van der Ven, Romero, Porro, Udogie. All of a sudden our first 11 looks very, very strong. This time we need to build around our top players and not be content with just staying the same. So the signs are there that huge change was coming, and Spurs, and if this is a sign of things to come, then we have massive things to look forward to. I'm really massively looking forward to the transfer window in January now as well, to see if we can build on what we've already started this summer. We already have a top manager in Thomas Frank who has proven to get the best out of unknown players. So can you imagine what he can do to players that are already established? Imagine what he can do with that. Negotiation for players won't be a war anymore. Maybe we can get players over the line a lot quicker, and maybe future players will now start looking at this club as somewhere they would want to go, an ambitious club that pays higher wages. Showing ambition, buying the top players, paying higher wages, and actually competing for top honours is something that I feel will happen going forward now. Maybe Romero knew something. Maybe he saw the changes coming, which is why he signed a new contract. This is why he in the past he has said the Levy and the people at the top have no ambition. He's now our captain. He's now signed a new contract, and he's now looking to the future in a positive way. I'm really, really excited for what's to come. Don't get me wrong. You could look at it another way and say things might spiral out of control and get worse. But this club, because of Levy, has been left on a foundation of strength. And using that strength now, with ambition, this top club could go massively far. And I think we can now start thinking about competing at the top. It will all start in January. If we start showing ambition in January too, and next summer, and build a really, really strong squad, not just team, that compete in Champions League and compete for Premier Leagues, then I think the whole fan base would be united and be very excited for what's to come. We've had a long, long time in the shadows of our rival clubs. It's about time that they ended up in our shadow. And I do honestly believe that that time is coming. New era for Spurs, new way of looking at things, and a new future. And thank you to Daniel Levy for everything you've built up until now. It's time to hand it over to people that want success on the pitch. This is going to be epic. Good times are coming. Thank you for watching. Come on, you Spurs.